Let's get a check of conditions outside right now. That is the weather story. Raya Wooten. It looks like you've got some snow mixing in as we experienced here. It's just all over the place, Raya, right?
Yeah, we definitely are getting some snow here in Portland. We're right over on Marginal Way looking over Highway 295. There is snow, and we were before in Yarmouth, so the drive over from Yarmouth to Portland, there was low visibility. The roads also were not as clear. We actually just saw a car kind of slam into the guardrail up that way on 295. It looks like they were able to drive off, but I think that's just a simple reminder that you have to drive slower in this kind of weather. The roads on 295 coming over, like I said, they just were not clear. There were not a lot of clear pathways that you could see. There were some areas where you could actually see the ground. There were some where you could not. On the exit, I believe when we were getting off of exit 7 in Portland, you could not see the ground at all. There was not a clear pathway, and we had to drop down. I believe that we may have been going about 30. We had to drop down on the speed limit to anywhere between 15 to 20 miles per hour. But even when you're going that speed in this type of weather, it's still harder to stop and harder to keep that distance between you and other cars. So it was I am happy to see that we were able to see that car be able to drive off after hitting it against the guardrail, but it was just like a stark reminder, gotta drive a little slower in this type of weather. So I've been around in a lot of different places throughout the day. I started in Portland around like 8 this morning. I went over to Falmouth. I went over to Yarmouth and Freeport even, and now we're back in Portland. And what we're just seeing is that tug and pull, the back and forth between snow and between freezing rain and between sleet. So it really does just depend on where you are. Now that I'm back in Portland, what I'm experiencing is that winds are not very high here. It's just that consistent downpour of the snow that we're seeing. So you want to make sure that you're, being careful in every way that you can. Whether or not this is a good time to start clearing some roadways and walkways, I'm not sure, just because this snowfall is just pretty consistent. It's almost like, if you clear it, then it might be a waste because you might have to clear it again. But being that this is a long-standing snowstorm, you might have to do that a few times if you want to make life a little easier for you. Because if we do get that freezing rain over later into the day, it will be harder to break some of that up. So hopefully you have the tools you need to do that. Of course, you guys, Mainers, you know how to do it. You can use the sand mix if you want, the sand and salt mix. If you were able to find ice melt, you can use that as well. Just whatever works best for you to be able to clear your walkways and driveways so that you are able to safely walk in and out of your home or on the sidewalk in your area. But you might have a time right now with how heavy this snowfall is coming down here in Portland.
All right, Raya Wooten, thanks so much. Great job. And you bring up a great point as we go over to meteorologist Jessica Conley now. Jess, probably the biggest question we've had from people today is how should I approach cleaning this up and shoveling? And there really is no good answer. Some people may want to wait because then the ice will be just on top of the snow and not coating the driveway. But if you wait, it's going to be really heavy. So
I know, exactly. I know we're like, oh, we don't know. Stop asking that question. But no, I know it's so important, right? Like, what's the best way to do this? Because especially if you can't find ice melt, I mean, you don't want just like the glaze of potential freezing rain all over your driveway. And that would not be ideal either. But we also don't want you out there trying to shovel, 6 inches of snow and then sleet on top of it and then a freezing rain glaze on top of that, because that's just so heavy and not great. And I don't know that the snowblower will do well. I'm just thinking of mine. I don't know that it'll do very well with the sleet either. So we don't have a great answer for you. I wish we did, but we don't. Do whatever you're comfortable with. Definitely take your time and be careful out there because it could be pretty heavy too, especially as that sleet continues to pile up. So here's a look at the current radar situation. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a break right now in western Maine and into parts of eastern New Hampshire. However, I don't think that's going to last for very long. You can see in like southwestern New Hampshire, over in Vermont, definitely all of Massachusetts, pretty much the, western 3/4 of Massachusetts. That is freezing rain down there, it looks like. At least that's what it looks like on the radar.